buy that anymore. Talk markets and rates with Fed Chair Jay Powell saying a 50 basis point rate hike is on the table. Jeremy Siegel, professor of finance at UPenn's Wharton School of Business. Jeremy, I thought about you when I was talking to Mike Santoli, because he says, you know, we're range bound, and it makes sense in a rising interest rate environment that the markets are range bound. And then I just said, it just seems, Jeremy, and I wonder, Professor, whether you agree, we all think range bound markets always resolve themselves with a breakout higher. And it, considering that in 1982 we were at 800 and we're now at 30+ thousand, it's always been a pretty good idea to stay long when you're in a range and it breaks out. Do you think that will happen again this time?
Well, first of all, our range is not as long as it was range bound back in the 70s and 80s. Really, it's been range bound for about 3 or 4 months. We will have to see if this bottom holds. I mein, you know, I'm glad the Fed is finally saying, yeah, they're finally getting it. And I think what Powell said was, and Sarah Eisen did a great job. I mean, we have to front load this. That means I think he's on board for a series of 50 basis point increases. You know, something I always look at, and the financial press doesn't, is the money supply. And we need to see that slow down. That's coming next Tuesday. We get that as a monthly indicator. We had a good month, you know, last month when we looked at the February data. Let's see if we can continue. Until you get that slowdown, you're not going to control inflation. I mean, that's what gave me the clue that there was going to be so much inflation last year and this year. And I think that that is really what you have to look at if you're going to control it. So the Fed still has to really be on the ball. They're getting there. They're way behind the curve, but at least they're getting there. Better late than never.
If businesses are sort of telling the Fed to go for it, you think that market participants will embrace a faster move, Jeremy, or
yeah,
be a knee?
Because they know out of control inflation is really bad, and that will require a Volcker moment, which we don't want. So clearly, I think they should go 75, and I think Bullard is probably going to dissent again on the favor. You know, as you were saying, I think yesterday, Joe, you know, take your medicine all at once, and not a quarter every week, and let's get it over with. We really need to slow down this super hot economy, get a handle on this inflation. I think the market wants it.
All right, Professor. I may see you next month at some point. Maybe we'll white dog it again. I'm not sure, but it is a big graduation coming up down in that part of the world.
Good morning, traders. What's up and what's going on? How are y'all doing today? Welcome back. Happy Friday. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thursday night. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thursday in the markets. And I hope that you guys are ready to rock and roll for an awesome Friday of trading. I mean, guys, already off the bat, we've got some big time profits and profits chat. VLON. Start taking on off, guys. Wait for the pullback. No reason to chase it. We got that 194 pullback. I get a late entry. It still worked out, but I see all of you guys inside the chats getting those entries, taking those profits, being disciplined, making it happen. You guys are on fire right now. You guys are crushing it. I am very proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations. If you missed VLON, it's okay, guys. It's a hot stock right now. It could definitely set up again, and we are ready to make it happen. So hit me with that good morning team. Where are we at? What's up, Jakey Lakey? What's up, Crypto Cole, Trader Adam, Kids King, Angel, AJ, Catherine, Big B. What's up, Steve, One Talkua, Esther, George from the NYC, J Das, Dougie, Fresh, and Mr. Chris Tyrone. How we all doing, team? Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome back. Winston, you are in alerts, buddy, but good morning, Winston. How we all doing today? Let's get fired up, team. Let's have an awesome day. Let's see who's over on YouTube right now. Who do we got on the tube? We got Mr. Joey over on YouTube, Ed Nevis, the man, the myth, and the legend. What's up, Steve, Jim, John, Luxury Trends, Danny, David, Keith, Carlos. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. Happy Friday. Let's dive into it, team. Let's not waste any time, and let's talk about what we have going on for today on this beautiful Friday. Before we do that, let me fix my webcam a little bit. It just seems like it's way too up. It just seems weird. It seems a little weird. How's the audio, guys? I made a few adjustments to audio. Before we dive into it, let me know. Does the audio seem clearer? Does it seem more crisp? Not as echoey? Is it the same? Is it worse? I made some adjustments to the mic last night. Before we dive into it, I want to make sure you guys are good with audio, and hopefully it's better than what it was before, so let me know real quick before we dive into it. Today's going to be a pretty easy day. It's good, clear, good. Okay, cool. I was watching some prior streams last night, and it was really sound metally. That's all I know. It sounded metally. It just like that metal vibration. I don't know. So I made some adjustments. Whatever. I just wanted to make sure that the gain wasn't too high. It just kind of seemed like maybe it was. It's in sync. Audio sounds good. Beautiful face. You guys see me? I can dance a little bit, right? Because I'm not sitting down, so I can dance. Oh, you guys are like, stop, Josh, stop. I just want to trade stocks. I don't want to see you dance. Well, guess what? We're going to dance today, guys. No, I'm joking. I'm like the weirdest mentor out there, aren't I? All right, let's dive into it. What do we got going on for the day? Everybody on TikTok, join us on YouTube, Alpha Day Trading. Happy, safe trading. I'll see you guys on the tube. Let's make it happen. Let's get prepared. You guys love it? Don't do that? Why not? Why not, guys? You don't want to see me do this a little bit? Yeah. Yeah, you see me? I'm even shaking the hips a little bit. You see that? Got a little twerk action going on. Cole's like, dude, just stop. Let's make some fucking money. All right, let's do it. Let's dive into it. What do we got going on? VLON. I know, right? Cool, I agree with you. VLON, what's going on here, guys? So shares are soaring in pre-markets after the company hangs a for sale sign, right? So basically what took place is they are in a review process that could include exploring the potential for a possible merger, business combination, investment into the company, or a purchase, license, or other acquisition of assets. So they are reviewing, or they're announcing the review of strategic alternatives. They engaged with Ladenburg Thalmann, Ladenburg. They're an investment banking company, yada, yada, yada. You can go check them out, Ladenburg. But they announced that they've engaged with Ladenburg to evaluate strategic alternatives for the company with the goal of maximizing shareholder value. If you're a shareholder, you like that. If you're an investor, that looks good. If you're a day trader, there's freaking news. That's a low float stock with great volume. This stock is the #1 stock to watch for the day team. At this point in time, this stock has all of the activity, all the attention, all the focus. This is where we need to be. And this daily chart doesn't look all that bad either, right? Doesn't look bad either. There's a lot of potential to the upside. Let's break this down. We have the news. Trading 20 million shares. On average, we trade 500,000. So we have the volume. It's up 90%, and it's a 3 million in float stock. This is the stock that every single trader is currently looking at. And I like this stock. I like this chart, right? We took on off. We're not chasing the stock. Wait for a pullback. Where did we pull back to? That prior level of daily resistance, right around our 20 EMA, not too valid, but again, you see that 20 EMA at 198. And the other thing is we came down to this 9 EMA on our intraday chart. We formed a flag and we broke out of the flag. First time I've seen a flag break in like months, but we had that break. Not a big time break, but it did move about 30 cents there. And that was a very profitable trade. As you guys can see, I took that trade with you inside the chat. I made 561. That was a great trade. And we even have more profits in profit chat. Steve came in VLON, locked in a quick $58 this morning. Who else? We had AZJ-Dub. He said he hit his goal already for the day. If we go back up here and look at AZ's post, he said he made a quick little, what, 180? Where you at? Where you at? We're at, boom, VLON, 180. He's done for the day. So the early bird getting the warrant, coming in, getting prepared, seeing the opportunity, not chasing stocks, waiting for stocks to pull back, getting your entries, low risk, great reward. We even had some traders on TikTok taking that trade with me. So good job, team. But if you missed it, it's okay. Let's see if it sets back up again for another opportunity, another good trade. All right, so that 194 is good support. We start dropping below 194, we have room to 174, 175. Would really like for it to stay above that 194 to $2. That shows strength. We do have room back up to high day of 231. Anything over 231, when we gapped down, right, massively from $7 to like $2, where was that spiking high, right? We see that massive gap down. Where was the high day? 248. So we have 248 to 250, strong resistance on VLON. But here's the thing. If we break over that strong level of resistance, let's call it 250, where could we see this go? I mean, could it fill the gap? Sure it could. That's all the way up at $7. But do you have any other levels that would hold this stock down? You do. 361, daily low, right? Then you have this daily low right there around 384. That's going to be resistance. Then you have these lows around $4. That's going to be resistance. So could it get to 7? Sure it could. But what's more realistic? 360, 380, and then $4. But that's still a lot of potential to the upside. From 240 to 360 is $1.20. That's $1.20 of potential on this stock, which is about 46% if it makes that full move. So we know the stock has great potential. The stock has good news. It has the volume. It's a low float. This is the #1 stock to be watching right now at this point in time. Okay, if I had to choose one stock to trade today, I would choose VLON. It has the news, it has the volume, nice low float stock, it's setting up, it's clean, it's consistent. Let's get prepared on this and let's make it happen. So what do we think could happen out of the gate with VLON? Right, let's really think about trader psychology, trading psychology for a second. This stock is now up 88%, right? From a 113 close to $2.12. If you were in this stock for any reason, if you were swing trading it, if you were bag holding it, whatever the case is, if you were in this stock, what would you do? What would you do? It's up 86%, right? Think about it. What would you guys do? I want everybody in chat answering. I want everybody on YouTube answering. And when you look at these answers, right, you're going to notice there's a consistency. There's consistent answers. About everybody's going to say the same exact thing. So if 100 people, 200 people right now are going to say the same thing, what do you think millions of people are thinking? What do you think millions of people are going to do, right? It's trading psychology. What do you guys think? Sell at the open, take profits, take profits, take profits, take profits. Wait for a pullback to get in, right? Absolutely. If we have 100 members in chat and 83 individuals on YouTube that all say the same thing, right? 90% of us say, hey, if we were in this, we would take profit. What do you think the majority of traders are thinking? They're going to take profit. So what do you think is going to happen, right? Most likely it's going to pull back a little bit. Where could it pull back to? 194. What do I want to see? Maybe a washout long, right? This thing open on up, wash out long, nice big dump to 194, get a strong bounce and a strong rebound and a nice follow through to really get this thing going. That's idea #1. That's trade plan #1. Wash out long to 190, 194. That would be a great out of the gate trade, right? Now, what's another thing that could happen? We could just break the downtrend, right? We still have plenty of time. We have 19 minutes for the market to open. This could set up for a downtrend break strategy. So if this is setting up to break the downtrend out of the gate and we start breaking the downtrend, that's trade plan and idea #2. We would be looking to buy the break of the downtrend, putting stops underneath whatever that prior low is, and look to run this back up to 230 and then that 248. So not only are we getting prepared with the stock, support, resistance, what's going on, what's the news, we're getting prepared ahead of time. If this happens, right, if we see the washout long, I will buy at this price. Here is my plan. I am ready to go to make an entry if that opportunity presents itself. And I have another plan just in case plan 1 doesn't work out. I'm prepared. So when the market opens and if I get in, it's no surprise, right? There's no surprise if I'm jumping in. And the question is, why are you jumping in? Well, I have a plan. I'm prepared. I know what to expect. I want to see option A, option B develop. And if one does, I'm ready to take a trade. If not, I'll sit back and wait for another opportunity, right? So that's what we have to do in the mornings. Get prepared, right? And get ready to go. If you see that opportunity out of the gate, we want to be able to lock in those profits. So VLON, number one stock we're watching, guys. MITQ, right? MITQ, and let's be honest, I mean, this stock's not doing anything right now at this point in time. But why is it moving, right? So MITQ, it's image technology, and SNDBX. Is that Sandbox? Is that SNDBX? Is that Sandbox? Is that the crypto Sandbox? We'll have to check it out. But anyway, they're announcing a strategic partnership for gaming and esports. So a leading digital cinema technology company and SNDBX, a leading promoter and manager of amateur gaming and esports, leads hosted in cinema, whatever, today announced a strategic partnership to bring full theater experience to the gaming and esports market, right? So MITQ, decent news. We have great volume. We're trading 8 million shares. On average, we trade 1 million shares. Nice low float stock, 7 million in float. It's up 32%. Okay, look at the chart. Look at the chart. Look at MITQ. Look at VLON. Which one looks better? Look at VLON. It has news, great volume, low float. Look at MITQ. It has news, great volume, low float. Which one looks like it has the best potential out of the gate? Definitely VLON. MITQ is just a little choppy, right? I'm going to find a stock that can move 50 cents, 40 cents, 30 cents quickly, right? I want to be able to lock in some quick profits. MITQ, this just seems like it's going to be a slower and steadier mover. But let's get prepared just in case this is a stock that makes some moves today, right? What do we have in store with MITQ? Well, we have 144 support at this point in time with 170 resistance. I know the spiking high is 177, but we hit 170 more than we hit 177. So give yourself a window of resistance between 170 and 177. Breaking over that level of resistance, we could see 185. Over 185, we could get up to 2. And then anything over 2 to retest that prior spiking high back in February of 213. Now, if we break 213, we have room to 233 with MITQ. But this thing really needs some attention. We need to see some traders come on over to MITQ, see it move a little bit, see it set up. There needs to be a setup. There needs to be a strategy. There has to be something. It's like, hey, this is a high probability trade. The odds are in your favor to be right on this trade. We have to have one of those high probability setups before we get involved. And right now, looking at the chart, there is simply no reason to get involved right now at this point in time, okay? 144 support, we're just gonna watch it to see if it holds on up. If not, it's probably to come back down towards around that 127 level on MITQ. But if we hold 144 and it sets up, we know we could see 170 to 177. We could see it up towards around 185, 213, and then possibly 233. It is a low float stock. It has good news. It has great volume. MITQ is the second stock we will be watching today right out of the gate. And other than that, those are the top stocks with news today, right? We have some other stocks with news at this point in time. So if you go look at, what's the other one? Like XPER, right? XPER had some news today, right? But what's the stock doing? Absolutely nothing. There is literally no volume and no reaction to the news. Is XPER worth your time? I don't think it is. Let's go look at BKEP, right? BKEP is on the leaderboard, right? It's number 2. What does this look like at first glance? 2 things stand out to you. Reverse stock split, acquisition. When you see a stock like that, just move up, sit sideways. It's typically acquisition or news. So what is this? It's acquisition news. They're being acquired by its general partner, Ergon. All right. So acquisition stocks are not worth your time. So when we really look at all of the stocks that have news, there's only 2 stocks that stand out. And that's VLON, number 1, new high a day. MITQ, number 2. Other than that, we have some back burner trades. Okay. We have some prior day movers, back burner stocks that could move today. We have ARCT for the possible and ugly, I want to call that out, right? Ugly, but possible mid-candle breakout, right? This was a massive gap down with a huge green day, and then we put in this mid-candle yesterday. We don't see this a lot. Just throw this out there. A gap down, big green day, and then a mid-candle off a gap down, you typically don't see that. What do you typically see? You see a big green day, right? It opens and just big green day, then the gap down, right? Usually it's gap up, big green day, mid-candle breakout. It's very rare that you see a gap down, big green day, and a mid-candle breakout, but it is technically meeting the criteria to be a mid-candle breakout. So I want to throw that out there. It is ugly, right? But there is potential. There's not a lot of potential, but there is some potential. If we start breaking that 23.38, which is going to be yesterday's spiking high, we can see it up towards around 24.38. So again, there's about $1 of opportunity. I'll take 20 cents out of this. I'll take 50 cents, but I see $1 of potential. I like that. Bottom support, yesterday's low of day, $22. All right, so ARCT, back burner play, possible mid-candle breakout, ugly mid-candle breakout with $22 support, 23.38 top resistance. Over that 23.38, we do have room to 24.38, which is that 50-day moving average, and it's very strong prior support on the daily chart, which is going to be some strong resistance, being that we're underneath that 24.38. So definitely watch ARCT. We are going to be watching CYN today. This was one of yesterday's top gaining stocks. Went from around 120 to 245. Didn't do too much after it hit 245. It really just chopped around. There were a lot of rug pulls on the stock yesterday, so I want you to be mindful of that, right? Market conditions, what are they? Well, we've seen a lot of rug pulls this week. We've seen a lot of stocks rip out of the gate and then fade all day. We've seen really slow power hour activity. Those were the market conditions. So be very careful with CYN. The last thing I want you guys doing is jumping in, thinking it's a great long trade, being up a couple cents, and then getting smacked 50 cents to the downside, 20 cents to the downside, right? There's been a lot of rug pulls on the stock. The price action yesterday was really nasty, but it could move today. There could be opportunity. There could be some potential. So I want to keep it on watch as a back burner at this point in time. And I know I'm using my hands a lot. This is weird. I'm standing up and I usually talk with my hands, and it feels different because when I'm sitting at my desk, I talk like this. Now I feel like I'm just moving around too much. So deal with it. Bear with me, guys. Someone said I look like Jim Cramer over here, like talking stocks all the time. So anyway, guys, CYN, be careful, be smart, trade it safe. Support's down at 166. You have this downtrend on CYN. If you ever break the downtrend, look at your prior spiking highs of 229 and up towards around that 240 level as targets. Again, bottom support down at 166 here on CYN, but it is a back burner stock at this point in time. All right. RDBX was another top gaining stock from yesterday. I think I want to short this today. The reason why is you have this massive multi-day uptrend. You put in this big lower high. You know, you see that lower high form. You get a crack of the uptrend off a lower high, and right now it's kind of just fading a little bit. So if we start dropping below 294 on RDBX and it's shortable, I want to short this down to 265 and short it down to 247. Right? So if we come down to 3 and bounce, we get rejected and we crack $3 support, I want to short this to 265 and then 247 here on RDBX because we just reversed in trend, and I think we could see it pull back a little bit today. All right, guys? That's what I have for you. It's 9:21 in the market. It's a Friday. It's a pretty easy day today inside of chat, right? We have a couple back burners, ARCT for the possible mid-candle breakout. You got CYN for the possible break of this downtrend back up to some of yesterday's levels. You have RDBX. It was a top gainer Wednesday and Thursday. Right now, possibly looking to short this stock. And then our top stocks today to watch out of the gate. Number 2 is going to be MITQ. Number 1, it's VLON. Like, let's be honest, guys. It's not like there's another stock that looks fantastic at this point in time. So there's not anything else that I recommend really watching out of the gate. I would say just focus here on VLON. Get to know this stock. How's the stock moving? Is it good price action? Is it bad price action? Are there rug pulls? Is it ripping healthy? Is it clean? Is it consistent, right? Really get to know this stock. And once you get to know this stock and how it's moving, that's going to help give you better odds of winning because now you just know more about that stock, right? It sounds weird when I say get to know the stock, become the stock. Seriously, if you notice a stock like CYN has tons of rug pulls, you're probably not going to trade the stock. You're probably going to wait for the false breakout and short for the rug pull because you know the stock and how it moves. But if you just come in at 3 o'clock on CYN and you don't know the stock and you're like, oh, this is a great long setup, let's trade it, and you get rug pulled on, you're like, what the hell just happened? Understand the stock, get to know the stock, how is it moving, how's it reacting, and that's going to help you make more money in the market, all right? So focus on VLON, get to know the stock, how's it moving, is it clean, is it consistent, is there a lot of nasty price action, a lot of rug pulls, and that's going to help you make better decisions when building a plan to trade this stock, all right? So number one, VLON. If you guys have any other stocks that you want me to review, we have about 6 minutes to go. I will absolutely do that, but right now at this point in time, we know exactly what we're looking at. We know exactly what to expect out of the gate, and we are all set, guys, ready to rock and ready to roll. All right. Take profits, take your initial investment off the table and ride the rest. Yeah, absolutely. FOMO it with the market order and then add to your expensive back collection, Steve. You always crack me up, dude. Always cracking me up, Steve. Josh, if you don't mind me asking, how would you apply a fib retracement tool on VLON? Yeah, so if you wanted to do a fib retracement on VLON, you need a significant low and you need a significant high, right? So you need a low and a high. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to clear this out real quick. Actually, no, I'm not, because I don't want to lose my studies. I'm going to just change my drawing set, create a new one. And so if you were looking at a possible fib retracement here on VLON, you just need 2 points in price. You need a significant low and a significant high. What's the significant low? It's where we opened, 119. Where's your significant high? Right there at 230. These are your retracement levels, right? 204, 187, and then 174. The most common retracement that you see a lot of are 50% retracements and those 38.2 retracements. So let's see what happens. VLON, we came down to 204, look, and we held and we moved higher. So you see how we pulled back to that 23.6 fib retracement. But here's the thing, guys. We don't use a tool or an indicator all by itself to make a trade, right? We use it in conjunction with other indicators, right? If the RSI is saying buy, and the VWAP is saying buy, and the 9 EMA is saying buy, and the fib is saying buy, that's how you get higher odds, higher probabilities of being right. If you have the fib saying buy, but everything else says wait or not buy, and you buy anyway, you decrease your odds. You're like, 60-40 odds, right? I want those 80-20 odds. I want the fib to say buy. I want that 9 EMA suggesting it's a good buy. I want the VWAP suggesting it's a good buy. Maybe the RSI. I want multiple separate reasons to take a trade, right? I want to use these indicators in conjunction with one another. So what did we have? We had a big rip up. It pulled back into that 23.6 fib level. It also held the VWAP. It also held the 9 EMA, right? And then it moved on up. So that's how you would run a fib, from low to high, from left to right. Significant low, significant high. Okay, now if you start doing your fibs like this, right? Let's say you thought that was a significant low, which it is, and you thought that was the high. And now you're expecting a retracement. But then the next candle, right, you're kind of sitting and you see this. All you have to do is just drag it up. Just drag it up a little bit, right? Every new candle that pops up higher, you just drag it up a little bit, and then you get that validated fib retracement level, all right? So another thing I want to point out with fibs, I don't really use them on pennies. The reason why is they're not validated consistently with penny stocks. Large cap stocks, I use fibs all the time. Fib extensions, fib retracements on the large cap stocks. Penny stocks, you do not see me using fibs all that much because I've realized that fibs just aren't super consistent with how they're validated, right? If I see an indicator that just doesn't work consistently, why the heck do I want to use it? It's not going to help me make better trading decisions. So I want to find those indicators and those tools that I see validated 70% of the time, 80% of the time, not 50-50. Fibs, to me, I like 60-40, 50-50. I don't use fibs all that much with pennies, but definitely those large cap stocks. How delayed is your scanner from views perspective? You got a 5-second delay. So you right now, you have a 5-second delay from me to you. My scanners update in real time. So I see the information, probably a second delayed. You guys get it 5 seconds later. That's the most real time you get. Price target on VLON, we already listed our price targets, right? So right now, 248 to 250. Anything over 253 and then 361 on VLON. Prove it, click your clock. Yeah, sure. 928.14. I'm watching the stream here. Boom. 928.15, 21. 6-second delay. So I'm watching the live stream right now. Live stream's at 20. I'm at 26. There's a 6-second delay, guys. Seriously, there's a 6-second delay between me and you. All right, guys. So we're all set, ready to rock. That's our day. Those are our stocks. Make it happen. It could be worse for you. It depends on your internet connection. On me, I'm 6 seconds. Some traders get it in 3 to 4. It depends on your internet connection and how quick you're pulling that stream, and if you're slightly behind, if you're not live, if it's buffering, all that good stuff. Exactly. Stock Talk says 6 seconds is a lot of time. Do not copy trade. Do not mirror trade. 100%. I could have a 10-second trade. I'm in. It pops up 20 cents in 10 seconds. I'm out. By the time you hear me say I'm in, you buy. I'm already out. It drops. You're like, what the hell, man? I lost money. You made money. How does that work? Mirror trading doesn't work. That's one of the biggest reasons. I have not found a live streaming solution that is like instantaneous. There's always a slight delay. I do want to talk about the SPY real quick, right? The SPY real quick. If we crack below 435.55 today and stay below 435.55, I will short this down to 430 on the SPY. We do have resistance up towards around 439.57, right? 439.57. A little bit of resistance here on the SPY. So we're keeping this on watch, but ideally a crack below 435.55. I want to short it down to 430 today. Right now, VLON, #1 stock. Let's see what we have. Market's open. Let's have some fun. Let's make it happen, team. Let's lock in some clean, consistent profits and end our week on a strong and profitable note, guys. See, Kevin says 3 seconds. Corey's got 6. Dougie, 5.5. Yeah, there's a range. 3 to 10 seconds, right? And that's the best it gets, baby. That's the best it gets. I mean, it's better than 30 seconds with Vimeo. It's better than paying $2 grand with IBM and being at 15 seconds. Shoot, YouTube, free, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. I'll take it, YouTube. Thank you. All right. So we are all set, guys. Let's make it happen. Right now, sit back, relax, be patient, wait for the best setups, wait for the best opportunity. Don't just chase stocks. Make sure that you have enough data, right? Data, what's data, right? The RSI provides you with data. The volume provides you with data, trend lines, fibs, support resistance. Make sure you have enough data to put the odds in your favor. The more data you have, the more technicals and indicators and tools that suggest a buy, the higher your probabilities are going to be successful, to be in a winning trade. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. What type of trader are you? Right? There's a lot of different types of traders. You have scalpers, right? Traders that scalp little 5-10 cent bounces 100 times a day. You have scalpers like me that look for those bigger priced scalps, a dip buy that could bounce 50 cents, 20 cents, not 2, 3, 4 cents. I'm not a high frequency scalper. I just scalp the market with larger size, and I look for those 10, 20, 30, 40 cent moves. You have those traders that like to hold on to their stocks for a majority of the day, those slow, steady movers. Today, we're gonna talk about what type of trader are you? And then depending on the type of trader you are, how you should enter and exit positions. Because I have a lot of traders that ask, Josh, how long do I hold on to a trade? Do I scale in, scale out? Do I go all in and scale out? Like, how do I go about it, right? I feel like I leave money on the table. Well, it really depends on what kind of trader you are. If you feel like you're leaving money on the table, let's dissect what type of trader you are, and let's talk about how you can put yourself in a position to continue to make money if the stock works in your favor. Last thing I want you guys doing is taking profits too quickly, right? I like taking profits quick. I have a high win rate. That's me. I take profits quick. I win 7, 8 out of the 10 trades I take, right? Some people have 50% win rates. And if you have a 50% win rate, taking those profits too quick, you may not be profitable, right? You're going to take your full risk, but you're going to take your profit too quick before it hits target. And even though you're making money on the winners, by the time you get stopped out on the losers, you may be break even. The only reason it works for me to take profits quick and stop out quick is I have a higher win rate. So if you have a 50% win rate, we may need to make a small adjustment, a small tweak to your plan to make sure that you're still making more money and you're not leaving money on the table. We're going to talk about that today, guys. But right now, VLON breaking over 248, pulling back to 248 on decreased volume. If this is a break and retest over our 248 level, I'm thinking about going long on VLON. Right off this 248 level, if we close, if we hold above. So 248 is that level that you'd like to see hold above here on VLON. And if this is a nice, healthy, decreasing volume pullback, it's a break and retest, we could definitely maybe get involved. If we do not hold above that level, we do have room back down to $2.30 here on VLON. So we have a break. It is starting to retest. We have decreased volume. You could take a partial position here to get your feet wet, right? If you think it could come down to 230 and you want to have an entry at 230, but you don't want to miss it at the same time, what can you do? You can take half your position here at 250. If it comes down to 230, you can add to it. But if you take half your position here and it works, at least you have something on the table. But if you go full size right here and it comes down to 230, you can't add into that position. You cannot bring your cost basis down. So if you are that type of trader that thinks, hey, 248 could hold, but it could also come down to 230, you can take half position right here. And if it works, you have something on the table. If it comes down to 230, you can take your other half right there at 230. I am long on VLON here. I am long off the break and retest, looking to see if we get a follow through. I don't have a big position. I do have half my position because I do believe it could come down to 230 before bouncing. If it comes down to 230, I can add there, get a 240 cost basis, and I can risk 225. That's my plan. Half here at 248, another half at 231 if it comes down. Cost basis will be right around 240. I will be okay with risking about 15 cents to 20 cents on this trade. But if I have half here and it starts ripping to 3, at least I have something on the table. At least I have my feet wet and I'm involved to see if we can lock in a couple bucks. I like the break and retest, right? We had a couple of those. We had a break and retest here, break and retest. There's been a couple breaks and retests, and we've been seeing that play on out in this market. We've seen a lot of stocks break, pull back and retest, and then start ripping and running. How many times this week have we seen a stock break, retest, and then trend higher for another 30 minutes? We've seen that a lot this week. That's the trend. That seems to be the consistency with penny stocks. You get the break, your first retest, and then the stock starts ripping up until about 10:30-ish, and then it starts dumping on off. So right now, I know the opportunity is right out of the gate. The first break and retest we get on a hot stock, a stock that has news, high volume, low flow, it has all of the attention. I know that I can get in on that first break and retest and feel confident that we can move higher into that 10:30, 11 o'clock mark before it actually starts rolling over, before it starts selling on off like every single stock has done this week. All right, so I'm currently long with a small position at 253. My plan right now is to stop out at 220 to 225. We come down to 230, I will add. That'll bring my cost basis down halfway. And we're all set. So SPY needs to crack below 435.55 before you think about buying puts. So cracking and holding below 435.55 before you think about getting puts on the SPY, because it does have room to 439.50. Please tell me this is a rug pull and a rally. Is this a rug pull followed by a rally? Like, my gosh, is this a rug pull followed by a rally that gets halted to the upside? How many times have we seen that? Good setup, it fails. The next candle just starts squeezing and then it ends up getting halted to the upside. Like, my goodness. We've seen that a lot. A lot of rug pulls in this market, guys. A lot of rug pulls. We're at 258. 258. We're trying to get some action. We have the volume and we have those buyers here. It's trying. There's 258 again. 260. There it goes, guys. Watch for this stock to really start taking on off. Quick little drop on down, stopping out traders, and then boom, right in the desired direction. We've had so much market maker price action lately, guys. So much market maker price action. We're looking for a high day break on that strong rebound. Honestly, we're looking for a high day break after that strong rebound candle. I'm still holding this. I'm in at 253. I think we can see $3. Just made my second profit in the market ever. $222. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. MITQ is moving. Yep, MITQ is getting some action here, guys. Not too shabby, but I still like VLON the most. I know that was pretty nasty here, and we're like, oh man, here it goes. It's going to drop, but look at that strong rebound on high volume, right? Stopping out traders, right? Stopping out a lot of traders as they think it's going to start cracking and fading and falling, and then an immediate rebound. That immediate rebound has me confident that we can see it move higher. I'm still holding right now at this point in time. I have no desire to get out. If anything, I may add to it here, right? If anything, I may add to this position, but not yet. I'll let you guys know if I do. Yeah, Snapchat's implied volatility is probably through the roof, right? If you go look at Snapchat and Snapchat's implied volatility, I mean, it's at like 200%. Yeah, that's crazy. So on these daily expirations, right, that implied volatility is going to drop off quick, right? So if you're trading daily expirations and you notice you're starting to be on the wrong side of the trade, you need to get out quick. Because if you stay on the wrong side of the trade just for a little too long, those options are going to go to crap. So to reduce that risk, pay a little bit more and go 7 days out. Look at the implied volatility. It's at 86%. You go next week, you're at 85% implied volatility. So if you are starting to become on the wrong side of the trade, right, you are slightly on that wrong side of the trade, you're not going to get hit as hard on Snapchat, right? You're not going to get hit as hard if you are trading those daily expirations. Obviously, if you're right, the daily expirations will pay off better. But if you're wrong, at least you can manage your risk better going 7 days out, at least, there on Snapchat. All right, VLON is looking like crap right now, isn't it? No, that's, hey, Tyrone, dude, I always tell you guys, there's nothing wrong with getting out early, right? When the market's decent, when the market's hot and it's moving consistently, right, we get in, we take some initial profits at our first target, then we can hold a runner on the table and continue to capitalize on the move, right? When the market conditions are there to allow us to have runners, okay? Right now with penny stocks, we haven't had the market conditions to really feel confident to leave runners on the table. These market conditions for me are get in, get out, get in, get out. I scout the market quickly. In and out quick, $100. In and out quick, $300. In and out quick, $100. Boom, I made $1,000 on the day. Now, when the market's hot and it's consistent and it's trending, that's when you want to get in, lock in those profits at your first target, bring a stop loss to break even, and then ride the rest for that runner to continue hitting that second target, third target, fourth target. Right now in this market, there is nothing wrong, in my opinion, with taking your profits and getting paid, because literally you can have a great setup and then immediately it just starts dumping and fading, and you're going to be, man, I wish I would have locked in those profits when I had them. You have to be mindful of those market conditions. So I'm not really crazy about the movement here on VLON. The only saving grace is this 230 level. Below 230, guys, I mean, shoot, we could fall back down towards around 220, and then down to 194. Honestly, I'm not really liking this. If I have an opportunity to get out of this at break even, I will, simply because I'm not a fan of, you know, how this is moving now. Right? I'm just really not a fan of how this stock is moving. So if this does give me a slight little bounce on up here, I would like to get out at break even. If I don't get that slight little bounce on up, I'm thinking about just cutting this trade and walking away. The only reason I'm holding is we have this, you know, slight uptrend that we could bounce off of. We are at this 230, and you're at the VWAP, and it could bounce. But if we don't start bouncing, I'm probably going to be getting out of this. I don't want to hold this too long. And that was pretty nasty. I felt pretty decent here when we saw that little rug pull, the drop, strong rebound, thinking we can get high a day. But this stock is just a little, I'd say, bipolar, right? It's definitely a little unpredictable at this point in time. But I'm trying to stick to my guns and stick to my plan. I did add to my position down there at 230. I was able to bring my cost basis down. So if we do get that slight rebound, and I see more struggling, I will cut my loss, maybe around break even. But if we don't see that struggle and we see some strength, I'm okay with still holding this, as that was my initial plan in the first place. But we're not really seeing, ideally, what we would want to see to suggest that we are going to rebound. If anything, I think we come down to 220. Like, I do think we come down to 220 before it bounces better. And the penny stock market's been rough lately, hasn't it? Penny stocks have been rough lately. And I got really sidetracked there on Snapchat. I got really sidetracked on Snapchat there. So, I mean, the only potential this has, I mean, honestly, guys, it just doesn't look good. It wasn't that decent dip buy, pull back into the 230s, then the bounce, right? So my initial plan to take half, I liked it. To add to it, not too crazy. And now that we're below 230, I'm not really digging it. But I readjusted my plan just slightly, right? Slightly, to look at this trend line, right? Last thing I want to do is be cutting it here, and we see the trend line hold. So right now, if this trend line holds, we still have maybe some potential to rebound. But if this cracks the trend line, yeah, that's definitely get out of the trade. That's definitely get out, walk away, find the next best opportunity. But right now, there's definitely no sign that buyers are here. I'm actually kind of surprised, just to be completely honest with you. I'm a little surprised at this point in time. We see that nice break and retest. Nice little break, nice retest, quick little dump on off, strong rebound. And when you see these drops, followed by those instantaneous rebounds on high volume, I would say more times than not, what happens? You see that follow through. You see that rip and run. I was actually surprised that it rolled on back over. For a stock that has this much volume and this much activity behind it, and such a low float stock doing well in pre-market, I'm actually surprised that we didn't see that rebound candle actually follow through. So right now, I mean, the trend line is the only saving grace that you have. I mean, that's it. The trend line is that only saving grace that you have. What's up with MITQ right now? MITQ, same thing, just kind of all over the place, a little choppy, right? Little choppy at this point in time. But right now with the SPY, you are below that main level on the SPY, guys. So right now, if you go look at the SPY, you are below that 435.55 level. And that was a key level to be mindful of, was that 435.55. So now we're below that level. Can we see the SPY retrace back to 435.55? We could, and that's what we would want to see. We want to see that attempted bounce back up. Retest, right? Old support as new resistance. And then at that point in time, that's where you want to think about going short, right? You get that nice little retracement, a little bounce on back up. That's when you would want to get short on the SPY. And what's really nice about this is not only is that prior support turn into new resistance, it's also a 50% retracement. So not only would that be a 50% retracement for the continuation, the next move down, you're also retesting that prior level of support as new resistance. I do like a short at 435.55. And like I said, I believe you could see 430 today on the SPY. But I like what you guys are doing. I see you guys out here doing your own due diligence, right? You guys have to do your own due diligence. You're building your own plans. You're taking your own trades based on what you see in your conviction level. That's how you trade stocks. I'm here to identify the opportunities, to bring your attention to the opportunities, to revalidate your plans and your ideas and your thesis. I'm not here to give you the answers. I'm here to help you find the answers, right? You have to have your own conviction behind trades. If you don't have conviction behind a trade, then it's just never going to really work out at the end of the day. So I'm very proud of you guys for identifying your own setups, identifying your own trades, doing your own due diligence, getting your own conviction based on setups and strategies that have been proven to work for you in the past. And you're out here making your own money on your own from being here and learning what it takes to find these setups, to take these trades. So good job. I'm proud of each and every one of you guys. Nobody does what you do, and you do it beautifully. Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of everyone, don't change a thing. You're awesome. I will not change a thing at all. Because I've heard that so many times, and I appreciate the kind words, but I've heard that so many times. Josh, just keep doing what you do. I'm learning so much. And I always want to stress the mirror trading aspect. MDVL? So MDVL was a stock that was moving all week, but I think last on the 14th is when this stock had some good news, and that got this thing going. And what you've seen over the past about 4 days is trying to break the 200-day, it can't. Trying to break the 200-day, it can't. Trying to break the 200-day, it can't. Trying to break. It actually closed above yesterday. Slight gap down right into the 200 SMA, and you're starting to see this bounce. You're starting to see this follow through. It's not terrible, but there's not an abundance of opportunity to the upside. So, I mean, you have room to 318. Over 318, you have room to 333. Over 333, you have room to 356 on MDVL. Best support level is at 286. Light support on MDVL is going to be right there at $3. Between 3 and 303 is going to be that light level of support for MDVL. But if you crack below that 3 to 303 level, watch for it to come back down towards around 286. If this stock is strong and it's going to move higher today and hit these targets, I'd like to see it hold above that 303. We can see it up at 318, and a break over 318 is where we can see that next leg up to 333 and then 356 on MDVL. No news. This is all momentum, and it's all technicals. We had news, got this thing going. Now it's all TA and prior day momentum. ARCT was that really ugly mid-candle breakout. CYN came right up to that downtrend, tested it, backed off very quickly, so nothing happening there. RDBX, like I said, if this thing's dropping and cracking below like 294, I would may want to short it. Is it shortable? It's hard to borrow, so no shorts there on RDBX. Is it optionable? It's not optionable, so won't be able to get that short below that 294, but I was thinking a 294 short could be nice. MITQ, got a slight uptrend on the stock, right? So slight little uptrend, flat resistance top. Just go ahead and think maybe ascending triangle, right? You do have these higher lows. You do have flat resistance. If we hold the higher low, follow through. If they 175 break, you could see 185, 2 and 213. However, if we don't hold the higher lows and we crack this trend line, you could see it come back down towards around 155 and then 144. But MITQ would be on high watch right now. Would be on high watch for the ascending triangle breakout. Off the higher low, above the trend line, breaking resistance, boom. You have room to 185, 2, and then $2.13. But like I said, if you don't hold your trend line and it cracks, the second it cracks that trend line, guys, and the second it makes a lower low, that's when you're going to see that full-blown reversal, most likely back down to 144. They're on MITQ. So right now, MITQ, keeping this one on watch. If we hold the higher lows, and if we start to make a slight rebound back to resistance with volume, we may have some opportunity. But right now, starting to slide below this trend line just a little bit. If you start cracking VWAP, that's definitely not a good sign. And if you start dropping below 159, it's going to start reversing on down here. I mean, that could be the trend line. Maybe not drawing it off the low into these high or these other lows, but maybe it's more of a shallower, not as steep of a trend line, right? Not as steep. So I mean, this could be the trend line for this ascending triangle. And you also have the VWAP right here as well. And again, room back to 175. If you drop below 159, the stock's dead. It's going to probably come back down to 144. But as long as we can, ideally hold this higher low above the trend line and above the VWAP, I mean, there is still some potential to get back up towards high a day, maybe make a little bit of a rebound here on MITQ. So right now, 175, I would expect to see that 175 touched. If it gets rejected, you would want to take some profits at 175 resistance. If it breaks 175, leave a runner on the table. I'm going to lock in half at 172 there on MITQ, as that's the plan. That was my idea yesterday on that one trade that I took a big loss on. Remember, I wanted to trade into the ascending triangle, buy off that trend line for the push back up to resistance, and then take profit and go risk-free in case it didn't break. But I got a very late entry. I actually got in close to resistance on that stock yesterday, and it failed and dumped on off. So here on MITQ, I was able to pull the trigger right off that trend line, and now what I'm able to do is I'm able to lock in profits right at resistance. And if it breaks, I still have a runner. If it doesn't break, I'm locking in profits, and I'm getting paid on this stock. That was a quick little 10-cent bounce there back to resistance. I'm still holding about 25% of my initial position to see if we get that break through that 175, 180 up into the 185s. But again, if it doesn't break, that was the plan. Taking profits at that level of resistance. Just in case it doesn't break, you can still walk away from the trade slightly profitable. So I still have 25% of my position on MITQ. and I'm out 100%. I'm out 100%. It's coming back down. It's not working. It's not breaking. If it sets up again, I may look for another trade, but right now I'm completely out. Last thing I want to do is jump in and then watch it dump on off. So I'm out right now, and I'll look to maybe re-enter. And especially on Fridays, you need to put yourself in a position to lock in profits quick. Lock in those profits quick, guys. So right now, I am 100% out. I locked in those quick profits. Knowing me, it's going to keep ripping and running. But it's a Friday. I know how the market's been moving this week. I know my best plan and my best approach for me and my style of trading is lock in profits quick. The last thing I want to do is have a good trade and be up and it not get to our second target, third target, and turn a decent winner into a loser. It's not that I'm scared to lose. It's I don't want to be greedy and not lock in profits knowing what the market's been doing the last week. It's just trading what the market's giving you. So right now, VLON is getting schmackarooed to the downside. I mean, big time. Absolutely disgusting. And this stock had a lot of good potential. I mean, it's still on watch if it sets on up, but right now, definitely not a lot going on. What did the SPY end up doing? Oh my goodness! Ah! Guys, look at that. How beautiful was that? Right? Wait for the retracement. Wait for it to get back up to that 435.55. Hit that 50 retracement as well, that 50% retracement. And on top of that, it got rejected off the VWAP and gave you a little doji candle right at resistance. What a great short there on the SPY. What a great short, right? 435.55. Crack, retest. Hits the VWAP, got rejected. Stay below the 50% fib level, right? Right into that 435.55. Put in this little shooting star doji, and then boom, nice big washout. $1.50 to the downside. What a short on the SPY. I was too busy trading MITQ. Too busy trading some MITQ that I'm not even really watching the SPY, and that's unfortunate because that was a killer trade. I'm just waiting for Corey to be like, yeah, I just made like $1,000 on that trade. I'm just waiting for Corey to be like, yep, I took it. I made all the money. I'm out for the day. All right, Corey, send me half. Right? My idea, your trade, just send me half. Oh, he took Qs. Ah, all right. You got some Qs. Nice. Yeah, the Qs, something similar, right? Very, very similar. Right off yesterday's close. So that was a nice little quick trade there. Now if we look at the SPY, you got a downtrend, right? Is this a double bottom reversal? It could be, guys. So be patient right now with the SPY. If this is a double bottom reversal, you do not want to be short. You want to think, hey, maybe we can get back up to like 437.20, right? We do have room to the long side today, potentially back into yesterday's close, right? Yesterday's close, 438. If we ever see the SPY over 438, I would say back up to 439.50 on the SPY, especially if this is a double bottom reversal here. If you start breaking and holding above 435.55, I definitely don't want you guys to be long or short on the SPY. I want you guys to be long. But at the same exact time, if you do not break and hold above that 435.55 and you see this downtrend actually holding this stock down as resistance, that could be a short for the next leg on down here. Like right here, I would probably short this on the SPY, right? On the SPY there, I would most likely short that. And I might actually try and get a short on the table. So if this breaks the downtrend and starts breaking back above that 435.55 and it holds above 435.55, we could see 438. If this is a validated downtrend, right, and we are going to continue to see the selling pressure and see another red day, we want to see the downtrend hold as resistance. We want to see this level of support crack at 434, and then we do have some room down to 433.20. And then your main level, guys, your main target here today is going to be that 429.90 level here on the SPY. I believe I'm going to hop off and start the weekend. Things just feel Bucky, I don't know. Dude, I think you came in and you locked in some profits, right? You came in, locked in some profits. Get out of here. Enjoy your weekend. George, MITQ, nice. 84 bucks. Good job on MITQ there, George. Nice trade. How is MITQ looking? MITQ, nice break. Wait for the retest. Could be a nice little break and retest here on MITQ. Retest would be 175. Right now, I'm short SPY, off the trendline rejection, looking for a new low a day, and I'm looking to see how long I could hold this short in this potential downtrend that we have. I do see potential down into like the 430s there on the SPY. So if we can see this all day fade and this just nice consistent downtrend throughout the day, I'm going to try and hold this position as long as I can down into the 430s until I see a reason to really get out. Now, right now, if you break this downtrend back above 435, that was where I was putting my stop loss, right? My stop loss was a break of the downtrend and that 435.55 level. So if you see the downtrend break, what I'm going to do is take half my position off the table. And if we continue to fall, at least I still have some position on the table. I have some size. But if I take half at the break of the downtrend and then it breaks that 435.50 level and I get out, that'll be as if I'm exiting my position right at the downtrend break by getting out half and half. Rug pull? Where? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. Like, honestly, let's be honest, guys. I said, honestly, let's be honest. Let's be honest for a second. When you see price action like this, do you even really want to trade penny stocks? When you see this, and you see this, do you even want to go long on a penny stock? Like, not really, right? Not really. It just, you kind of want to play the opposite direction. You want to see a great long setup and you want to short it. And it's like, what? Shorting a great long setup? That's stupid. Why would you do that? Well, I mean, it would work in this market. I mean, it's pretty brutal, guys. Pretty brutal. It's been the norm this week. That's what I was telling you guys, right? Like, what are the market conditions? You have a lot of stocks breaking out, ripping, and then they start selling on off for those all-day faders. And we've seen a lot of rug pulls as of yesterday as well. I mean, just rug pull after rug pull after rug pull, and it honestly makes it no fun, right, to trade these stocks. I want to have some fun. Right? I want to trade some stocks, lock in some clean, consistent profits, but at the same time, you start doubting yourself, like, all right, it's such a good setup, but man, what if I get in and it's a rug pull? That's what you think in the back of your mind. It's like, do I really want to take that chance and be stuck in a rug pull? The answer is no. So you start, second guessing the trade in the first place, which is good because most of the time you prevent one of these. But there are some missed opportunities by thinking, man, what if it's that next rug pull? The last thing anybody wants to do, right, is be in a stock that just dumps 30 cents to the downside. I got out quick on that. If it wasn't for you, I would have stayed greedy, but I got in and out. Discipline. George, that's what I'm talking about. You get in, you lock in your initial profits, especially in a market that's not consistent, right? We have quick setups and then those dumps. So what do? We play those quick setups, take those profits quick, and if it starts dumping, we're already risk-free on the trade, right? We're risk-free, we at least walk away profitable. So good job. You get in, take some quick initial profits, scalp it very quickly, and if it continues to work, you still have half your position on the table, and you're still getting paid. But if it does dump like this, and you get out at break even, guess what? It's still a winning trade at the end of the day, and you get to walk away profitable. But good job, George. Way to make it happen. Great discipline.